Hey, we'll see you in Ashland, Virginia, and Athens, Georgia, and Rutherford, New Jersey, and Minneapolis. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Hey, guess what? You know how they're protesting in the United States, or are also doing it in Europe against the Israeli slaughter of the civilians? I like how they call it. It's not a genocide. It's an ethnic cleansing. Oh, it sounds like they're giving them showers, doesn't it? But here, so the cops came in. They were peacefully protesting at the University of Edmonton, Alberta, eh? And Edmonton's in Alberta, right? Yes. So watch the cops come in. Watch tough guys. Watch how tough these guys are. Can you imagine doing this to peaceful protesters? I mean, I could see arresting them. I could say, hey, turn around and put your hand. Now I'm going to walk you. Because, you know, that part of peaceful protesting is, you know, you will be arrested. But watch what they do to them. Watch what they do. They could just arrest them. But watch what they do. Just beating the shit out of them. Just beating the shit out of them. They just walk up to them. People just sleeping and sitting down. It's women. And
terrifying.
Start beating the shit out of them.
I'm going to break your shit.
A bunch of tough guys.
And you hear the other Canadians say, oh, a bunch of tough guys, eh? You're a bunch of tough guys. So again, if there's anything, if there's a recipe for anti-Semitism and less respect for the cops, it's this. And why do you think they need to do this? Why do you think they need to shut this shit down? Because they're not, somebody said this, they'll say, oh, they are interrupting, they're breaking the peace. They're disturbing the peace. They're not disturbing the peace. They're disturbing your war. And they can't have that. And that's why this is happening.
You're real tough.
Real tough. Here, let's watch a little bit of it. Here, watch it. You just start kicking them, hitting them. Look at them just bashing them. With clubs. Unarmed people. They could have just arrested them. But no, they're going to go beat them. They're not being threatened. Their lives aren't in danger. Nobody's attacking the cops. Nobody's threatening them. There's no violence happening until the cops show up.
A bunch of tough guys. Yeah, you're real tough. Record! Everyone phones out! They're using tear gas!
And then they start using chemical weapons on them. That's what tear gas is.
Record! Everyone record! Get off my students! Get off my students!
So I was just in Edmonton. That happened the day after I left. Eh? And there's a group up there called Police Free Schools Edmonton, and they released this on May 13th, a statement on police violence at the University of Alberta. And I'll read to you what it says because it's small. It says, on Saturday, May 11th, University of Alberta President Bill Flanagan, he called the Edmonton Police Service on students and alumni who were peacefully protesting on campus, The encampment protest, called the People's University for Palestine, YEG, was demanding the university's full disclosure of and divestment from investments of student tuition that enable the ongoing genocide in Gaza enacted by the Israeli government. At dawn, police in militarized gear encircled the group while many of the protesters slept or were praying. Around 5 a.m., police began shooting pepper bullets into the gathering while beating, gassing, detaining, and arresting peaceful protesters, with one person being taken to the hospital due to the injuries sustained at the hands of the cops. Within half an hour of the police sweep coming to a close, the University of Alberta released a statement, followed by an update on May 12th, with false claims in an attempt to justify this act of violence. The evidence shows that these students were safe and participating in a peaceful gathering until the moment that the police arrived. The authoritarian and reactionary decision by appointed President Flanagan to instigate a violent intervention rather than engage in meaningful dialogue with students of the University of Alberta is cause for great concern. While deeply troubling, it is also statistically predictable that the presence of the police place students on campus at greater risk. These events confirm what Police Free Schools Edmonton and allied organizations of educators, students, parents, families, and community members have been saying. Police do not keep us safe. Police actively endanger all community members. First of all, you would think they would just have to tell you where they're putting their money anyway. You think that a public university who takes their tuition and then invests it in weapons sales and weapons manufacturers would have to tell you that. Where they put it? That's part of their protests. So anyway, that's quite remarkable. So you always think of Canada being nice people, peaceful, docile. They are some of the most authoritarian, crazy ass motherfuckers in the world. Wait till I show you on Wednesday this new bill that they've passed. It turns thought crimes. They can put you in jail for thought crimes for life, even stuff you did in the past. So Canada, not that great peaceful place you thought it was. There are a bunch of authoritarian maniacs up there. A lot of people pushing back against it too up there. Look at the truckers. A lot of good people in Canada, But their government is horrible. Horrible. And horribly corrupt. They're not doing that to keep the peace. They're doing that to sustain a war. They were doing stand-up in Ashland, Virginia, Athens, Georgia, Rutherford, New Jersey, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Ontario, California, Irvine, California, Las Vegas, Davenport, Iowa, Chicago, Grand Rapids. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com and don't go to a second reseller. Not good.